The Banquet event 2024 rank predictions. Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. I think this is going to be one of the final tabs of the spreadsheet because it has become a bit much to do a lot of this stuff, to be honest, but we're there. We're at the end point. Going to be walking you through this tab, this final tab, which is rank predictions. Excuse me, but we have got intro, top tips, 2-week unit farming, units for milestone climb, 3 points, which by the way, I have updated. I've taken into consideration the free Banquet token that you get through the Accolades event. It does not apply for Valiant players because you can't get any more than what you've got. You have 120, you can't get 130 unless you spend. So it's kind of like free to play. So I've updated that with the correct info. From yesterday's drop rates dissection, there's a tab there, and of course rank predictions, which we're going to be talking about in this video. So climbing the ranks is going to be important for some people, not for others, because they may have they're not really interested in this event anymore. So you may want to find out what the rank's like for the solo side of things and also for the alliance portion side of things, which I'm sure a lot of players within alliances want to get some good stuff. There is a forewarning to everybody that you start off, and I have put a note to this. If you are looking to shoot to get something from the alliance, everybody starts off on 220,000 points. This is based on the contributions. If you go to contributions right now, if you want to get that 7,400, which you've got to do in order to get all the milestones for it, it will obviously cost. So that already starts everybody off. If you're considering there's 7,400 points first and foremost, you then times that by the amount of players in Alliance, say it's 30, means that everybody a large quantity of alliances in the game are already on 220,000 points as a base. And if you start on a base, we'll just go into alliance predictions for this, and I'll explain the calculations in a second. But this is why I've done the following as predictions. 930k will get you about 90-ish in placement. 417,600 could give you about 1% to 5% finish in placement in the rank. 315k, 6% to 10%, 157,200, 11% to 25%, and 24,000 points overall in Alliance. And there are going to be alliances out there that are going to be between that particular point there, because they're not going to be participating as much or don't have a full amount of members. So there could be a large chance of hitting 6% to 10% with everyone with it finishing about 315k and of course upwards. I think you'll find a lot of alliances in 1% to 5% territory, or maybe you won't. Like this could be the year I get it right, or like last year Kabam have changed something again, which they have done this year, and things might be a little bit wrong. That's something that people don't consider, is that the gifting event or the Banquet event over the last 3 years, it was 2021, it was 4,000 points per GBC. In 2022, it was 4,000 points per GBC. In 2023, it was 2,800 points per GBC purchase and open. And in 2024, it is 400 points, 300 for the purchase, 100 for the open. So things have changed a lot. Trying to predict stuff is so darn difficult. I don't know why Kabam keep changing it all the time, but it doesn't make my job any easier, I must admit. But there we go. Each to their own with how Kabam does this. I just have to adapt. They like keeping me on my toes. So we're going to go over solo points. I need to explain how I've come to this element of, I haven't just plucked these totals from nowhere. I've had to retro calculate stuff. So just quickly on the solo side of things, to kind of bring in the calculator to kind of just showcase like how I've come to this particular point. And these are rough estimates, it's predictions, so take it with a pinch of salt or go by it. We'll have to see when the results come in, which by the way, I will be asking for results to try and help out better predict stuff in future. Unless Kabam change it and then we have a problem. So if we take, here's a good example. If we'll take the one I haven't got a unit calculation for, 1.5. Okay. We want something lower than 200 position. Okay, 1.3. So we'll put that into the calculator like there. From last year, by the way, 1.3 million. What we do is we divide that by what was the points per GBC last year, 2,800. That gets us a figure of 464. We could say that it's better to round it up to 465. So let's go with 465. That's how many GBCs were opened last year. So that is your kind of like unit spend. So what do 465 GBC, this year SBC, which is at the same price of 300 units, get you? Well, that would get you something like this, times by 400 for the buy in the open, and you get 186,000. So to get to 1.3 mil and then get below 200 could be around 486,000 points. Okay, 465 as well, 465 times 300 equates to 139,000 units being spent. That's how I've worked that out, and I could be wrong, but I spent a bit of time on that. I felt that calculation is at least somewhat accurate. So this gives me my 2024 solo predictions on the matter. If we bring in the 139,500 there on points, on unit spend, this is what I've done. I've updated the tab to kind of add in this, where I think the predictions are going to be. So we'll have this 50-ish placement for 471,200 points, and it goes down, 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 down. Top 3%, or that 1 to 5%, or whatever it is, 51,000 points, 38,400 units being spent. You know, it's a large amount of units being spent this time. There's definitely, and as I keep saying, coming into next week, you're going to see a dissection video looking at things that you got from the milestones versus spending units and Cyber Weekend. I want to make sure I dissect this in a way that I think is the best way possible, just to give like as accurate as possible stats to Cyber Weekend, Unit Invest, or Banquet event, and we kind of have a look at it. And I have a stopping point. I will be mentioning it quite a bit. I'm going to stop at about 9,700 units, stop there and see what I get, and then have extra units for things like the Korean's challenges, which I've got to do when I'm I'm away from work. I'm on holiday at some point next few weeks. Anyway, or 2 weeks actually, as I serve up my notice. But rank side of things, again, important of what you take home, especially from an alliance and a solo perspective. You want to know that you're getting some of the good things from this, especially when you look down at the alliance portion. And yeah, I've got all those champions there. But anyway, it's nice stuff from the alliance. I suppose it's a little top up because you don't have to invest quite so much into it and you get a good amount from it. Then from a solo perspective, which is what? This one right here. Hey, I thought this was this. Did I pick the wrong one there? No, it doesn't show. Where's the rank stuff? We're going to have to go to the website. No, sorry, it's actually in the Realm event of all places. It's structured into there. This is where everything is. Yeah, so these are some of course, the percentages. We've tried to calculate as best we can from the spreadsheet the chances of hitting up stuff like this, whether or not you like some of the materials within it or not. If you are hoping to get up as high as possible, there are some things I'm like, 4% to 5%. I've predicted 17,000 units. That's 17,700 units of investment with 23,600 points. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna. I feel quite disappointed if I was getting that particular stuff from the rank. But this has been this Banquet event. It's been spotty at best, hasn't it? I guess it's the higher up stuff, isn't it? The 1% to 5% things. And that's where you're going to find some decent stuff. Maybe you'll see that in the top 3%. Where's the 2% to 3%? Sorry, 2% like there. Anything higher, like 30-something thousand units, maybe. This is tough. With the extent of people's lack of interest after the first 24 hours, things could change rapidly. And that's my concern of going, well, invest 38,000 units, you get something good from it. Well, it might turn out that you only have to invest in 25,000 units because the event fell off a cliff when it comes to people's investment and interest in time. I mean, look at it right now. The event is at a community points threshold of 2.3 billion. Now, that first 24 hours was big for the game because I'm recording this on a Saturday and then, this is from last 24 hours. So what I'm going to do just quickly is actually reboot my game and just double check that that's actually totaling correctly, because there could be some issues in that things haven't totalized 100% correctly. Either way, I would say to people, maybe consider don't spending all your units, and maybe consider that you might want to use them for something else. There's a good chance that would be a better fit for you. As we go quickly back into game, just check the realm event. Yeah, it hasn't gone up anything. There could be a bug with the totaling. It looks like it's actually remained the same, but I don't know, it could be some slight changes. So I guess that's it, isn't it? The prediction is, here's what I predict when it comes to the solo. Here's what I predict when it comes to the alliance. But I stress that maybe don't go all in. Maybe just do a bit. And maybe this is needs to be a little bit lower. I'm just cautious on that, especially with the lack of vibes. How deep do you want to go in this event to what is actually there from the rank perspective? And does it actually interest you for things like this as well? Maybe prioritize some content. Caban probably have something content-wise for us to do at some point in the new year. So that could be something where you're like, okay. Or maybe go and save up for July 4th deals, knowing that they could be a lot better than this. And same with Cyber Weekend, and have a big 2025 when it comes to unit spending in areas that are more, I don't know, beneficial to you and more guaranteed for you at the same time. But what are your thoughts? Put it in the comments as to ranks. Do you think there's no point to bother with the rank side of things and just enjoy it for a little investment, a little bit of fun and done? Thoughts, of course. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely day and goodbye.